Good afternoon and welcome to the Rundown. I'm your host, Captivating Christian, and here are some of your top stories for today, the 5th of August of 2021. Biden delivers a brutal warning to GOP governor sabotaging his pandemic battle. And the Pentagon is set to require COVID-19 vaccines for at least 1.3 million active duty troops. President Biden said last week that all federal employees and contractors must be vaccinated or face weekly testing. And a victim speaks out after a police officer was filmed stomping on his head. Clarence Gailyard was stepped on while handcuffed on the ground. And a Missouri governor pardons the gun-toting lawyer couple who pointed firearms at Black Lives Matter protesters. And a Black Michigan realtor and his client arrested at gunpoint while house showing. And we can now all call Rihanna the richest woman in music, and I think it has a nice ring to it. Let's get to the news. A stronger and deadlier variant of the virus that had killed already over 600,000 Americans continues to emerge, threatening to severely recede the progress made by the United States through the vaccination and adherence to safety guidelines. Many Republicans seem to rail against the mask wearing, claiming that they're ineffective, harmful, and exercise in government control. However, many right-wing elected officials and media personalities have had even promoted disinformation regarding their life-saving vaccines, whose safety and effectiveness have been proven to slow the spread of the virus. Republican Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida and Greg Abbott of Texas are two elected officials who's polarized the political pandemic strategy over the safety of their own residents. Last year, the governor of Florida issued an order that would effectively bar the state and local government from enforcing mask mandates. This past summer alone, Ron DeSantis signed legislation banning businesses from utilizing vaccine passports to ensure the safety of their customers. He also issued an executive order earlier this month banning schools from mandating mask usage for children, even though children under the age of 12 aren't eligible for the vaccine. Recently, as this past Saturday, Florida saw an all-time state record for its single day of positive cases. The situation in the Lone Star State isn't much better. Governor Abbott recently issued an executive order limiting mask mandates and vaccine passports, even as Texas hospitals are bracing for another surge. Last week, 1 in 3 cases of the virus in the United States were in Florida or Texas. President Biden touched on the governor's policies in a comment to the press last week, urging them to stop actively hindering America's fight against the virus. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin is expected to make the COVID-19 vaccination mandatory for all active duty troops in the coming days, a far-reaching decision that reflects the government's ongoing concern over the spread of the Delta variant. Multiple outlets reported on Wednesday. The decision could come by Friday and will require a presidential waiver to allow the vaccine to be administered to the troops before it is fully approved by the Food and Drug Administration. The vaccines are currently being used under the agency's emergency use authorization mandate. Although at least one vaccine, the Pfizer BioNTech shot, is expected to be fully approved by early next month. The move allows President Joe Biden's decision last week to mandate vaccinations for all federal employees and on-site contractors are required, and those who do not wish to take the shot must be tested weekly. Biden's decision extends to about 766,000 civilians working in the Pentagon, but not active duty service members. The New York Times has noted that the president has decided to ask Austin to look into how the Defense Department could mandate the vaccine. A black man who was allegedly assaulted by an Orangeburg, South Carolina police officer last month spoke out for the first time Tuesday. Clips of the police body cam footage obtained and released by the man's lawyer allegedly shows former officer David Lance Dukes stomping on the neck and head of Clarence Gailyard, age 58, during an arrest. The encounter occurred on the 26th of July when Dukes responded to a 911 call from a man carrying a firearm. His lawyer, Justin Bamberg, said at a press conference on Tuesday that an 8-second video shows Dukes running towards Gailyard, forcing him to the ground, handcuffing him, and searching his pockets. Police did not find a gun at the scene. The gun-toting lawyer couple has received pardons for an infamous standoff with Black Lives Matter protesters. Mark McCloskey and Patricia McCloskey were among the 14 people to receive a manner of clemency from Missouri's Governor Mike Parsons, a Republican, on Tuesday. The husband pleaded guilty in June to a 4th-degree assault and the wife to a 2nd-degree harassment, both misdemeanors. Parsons has long backed them up, and he promised to pardon them, and he kept his word. Seen in a viral video, the McCloskeys stood armed outside of their home in St. Louis, Missouri, staring down protesters who passed by. This was more than a month after George Floyd died in police custody, sparking an array of high-profile protests. The encounter involving the McCloskeys happened as protesters attempted to march towards the home of the St. Louis mayor. According to the Riverfront Times, the city's politicians faced calls for her to resign after she doxed people who wanted to defund the police department. Eric Brown, a black realtor in Michigan, was handcuffed alongside his client during a showing on Sunday when several armed police officers responded to the house after a report of a break-in. Brown said he was showing the house to a client, Roy Theron of Vermont, Michigan, when they were racially profiled and briefly detained before police acknowledged the gaffe. Hey, this is Captivating Christian here to remind you to tune in to Politics and Wellness every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Politics and Wellness every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Rihanna's achievements bridge multiple industries. She's won Grammys, acted in films, designed luxury clothing lines, and developed a wildly successful beauty brand while investing in youth creators at the start of their careers. As of recently, the multi-talented star is also a billionaire, according to Forbes, which isn't necessarily shocking to learn, but still a wow. Rihanna's net worth is currently standing at about $1.7 billion, according to Forbes' last estimates. Her 50% stock in Fenty Beauty reportedly accounts for the majority of that wealth, which the artist savagely ex-Fenty lingerie company, popular music, and acting credits contribute as well. Securing billionaire status is a big deal for obvious reasons, and the distinction is particularly notable in Rihanna's case. She is now the wealthiest woman in music and the second wealthiest woman in entertainment, behind other than Oprah Winfrey. And once again, thank you for watching CCN Midday News. Hope you enjoyed. Please like, share, and subscribe. Also hit that notification button so you will never miss another news update. Have a great day. Peace.